Have you ever felt that deep pang of loneliness? It's more than just being alone, it's a feeling of disconnection that can quietly creep into our lives. We all experience it from time to time, but when it becomes a long-term guest, it can start to impact us in ways we might not even realize. Today, we're going to talk about the hidden effects of chronic loneliness, not to scare you, but to understand them, so we can face them together. First, let's talk about anxiety. When you're lonely for a long time, your brain can go into a state of high alert. It's almost like a survival mechanism gone wrong. You start to see social situations as potentially threatening. This constant vigilance can lead to a state of chronic anxiety. Simple things, like a friend not texting back right away, can trigger a cascade of worries. You might overthink interactions, replaying conversations in your head, wondering if you said something wrong. This isn't just about feeling a little nervous. It's a persistent, draining sense of unease that can make everyday life feel like walking on a tightrope. It heightens your sensitivity to social cues, but often in a negative way, making you more likely to interpret neutral situations as rejection. Over time, this constant state of worry can be exhausting, making it even harder to reach out and break the cycle of loneliness. This heightened state of anxiety is often a precursor to something more serious, depression. The link between prolonged loneliness and depression is incredibly strong. Imagine your emotional energy as a battery. Social connection helps to recharge it. When you're lonely, that battery is constantly being drained without getting a chance to refill. Eventually, you run out of power. This can manifest as a deep, persistent sadness, a loss of interest in things you once enjoyed, and a feeling of hopelessness. Loneliness can trap you in a negative thought loop, where you feel unworthy of connection, which in turn makes you isolate yourself further. This self-perpetuating cycle is a hallmark of depression. You might feel like you're in a deep hole, and the energy to even try to climb out is gone. It's a heavy burden, and it's important to recognize that this isn't a personal failing, it's a recognized consequence of prolonged emotional isolation. Now, let's move from our emotional health to our cognitive health. Did you know that long-term loneliness can actually affect how your brain functions? Our brains are social organs, they thrive on interaction and stimulation. When we're deprived of that, it can lead to cognitive decline. Think about it. Conversations challenge us to think on our feet, listen, process information, and respond. These are all exercises for our brain. Without them, our cognitive muscles can start to weaken. Studies have shown that chronically lonely individuals may experience issues with memory, problem solving, and decision making. It's as if the brain's pathways for these functions become less traveled and harder to access. In the long run, this has even been linked to a higher risk of developing conditions like dementia. Keeping our minds sharp isn't just about puzzles and reading, it's fundamentally about staying engaged with the world and the people in it. The effects don't stop there. When you avoid social situations because of loneliness, your social skills can actually start to deteriorate. Social skills are like any other skill. If you don't use them, you lose them. You might find it harder to start conversations, to read body language, or to understand the subtle give and take of a good chat. You might become more awkward or unsure of yourself in social settings, which, of course, reinforces the desire to be alone. This can create a feedback loop. You feel lonely, so you avoid people. Your social skills decline, social interactions become more difficult and stressful, and you end up feeling even lonelier. It's a frustrating trap to be in. Rebuilding those skills takes time and courage, and it often starts with small, low-pressure steps, like a simple greeting to a cashier or a brief chat with a neighbor. This decline in social confidence is directly tied to our self-esteem. Loneliness has a way of whispering lies in our ears. It tells us we're alone because there's something wrong with us, that we're unlovable, boring, or just not good enough. When you hear these messages day in and day out, it's easy to start believing them. Your sense of self-worth can plummet. You might start focusing on your perceived flaws and ignoring your strengths. This negative self-perception becomes a lens through which you see the world. You might assume people don't like you before you even give them a chance. This erosion of self-esteem is one of the most painful parts of loneliness, as it attacks the very foundation of who you are. It makes it incredibly difficult to muster the confidence needed to put yourself out there and form the connections you so desperately need. Finally, the impact of loneliness isn't just in our heads, it's in our bodies too. The mind and body are intricately connected. The chronic stress caused by loneliness can have serious physical health consequences. When you're constantly in that fight or flight mode we talked about earlier, your body is flooded with stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, high levels of cortisol can lead to inflammation, which is a root cause of many chronic illnesses. Studies have linked chronic loneliness to a higher risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. That means you might get sick more often and take longer to recover. It can also disrupt your sleep patterns, leading to fatigue and a host of other health problems. It's a stark reminder that our emotional well-being is not separate from our physical health. They are two sides of the same coin. Taking care of our need for connection is as important as eating well and exercising. Hearing all of this can feel overwhelming, but please, don't feel discouraged. The first and most powerful step is understanding what's happening. Recognizing these signs in yourself or in someone you care about is crucial. Loneliness is a universal human experience, not a personal failure. If you're struggling, please know that you are not alone in this feeling, and there is help available. Reaching out to a friend, a family member, or a mental health professional can make a world of difference. Therapy can provide you with tools to challenge negative thought patterns and rebuild your social confidence. Sometimes, just speaking your feelings out loud to someone who will listen without judgment can lift an enormous weight. There are also community groups, clubs, and volunteer opportunities that can provide a gentle way to start reconnecting with others around shared interests. It's about taking small, manageable steps. If you recognize these patterns in your own life, please consider talking to someone. Your mental and physical health are so important. There are crisis helplines and mental health resources available, and we'll put some links in the description below. Taking that first step can be the hardest part, but it's the beginning of the path back to connection and well-being. Thank you for spending this time with me today to explore such an important topic. If this video resonated with you, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more content about mental wellness and personal growth. Share this with someone who might need to hear it. Remember to be kind to yourself and to others. We'll see you in the next video.